That's what people are saying. Yeah, the presidency came up yesterday with Talimu Yakubu, writing this big essay, and then our presidential aide by Ononuga Sunday Dari in the media yesterday trying to explain that what the president did was not override the PIA, but protect the constitution, because in section 8 of the constitution itself, uh, expressly, every revenue, the constitution dictates that every revenue accruing to the federal government shall be paid into the consolidated revenue fund, which in other words is the federation account, to be shared among the three arms of government by allocation. That's the federation. That's where fact comes in. That's a provision of the constitution. And what the president was doing was simply enforcing that fundamental. The Punch interviewed about 8 of them yesterday, including 9, including the president of the Nigerian Bar Association, Alpha Bosigwe, 9 senior advocates, and all of them 9 agree that what the president has done is override the provisions of the constitution, and he doesn't have such powers. That what the president should have done was simply go to the National Assembly and amend the PIA to redirect revenue. That's what he should have done, to expressly use an executive order to redirect the provisions of the constitution in an act of parliament is to override that act, and that the president is wrong. But the presidential advisors are saying, they say, for instance, Bayonanuga said people like Pengassi, they made a knee-jerk reaction. It was a knee-jerk reaction for them to talk the way they, because Pengassi was the first who said this violates the constitution. This violates the constitution. The president should cancel it. And they say first of all, has a big mouth. And that but 8 senior advocates, 9 if you ask Alpha Bosigwe, in their interview in the Punch, clearly did not support the president's action. And I raised this along from the first time this happened last week. That in my view, especially my experience, I always know that if there's a clash, between an executive order and a constitutional provision, the constitutional provision takes effect. The executive order cannot override. I always known that, because time and again, especially in discussions around electoral act, these matters have always come up, and that's why they say that provisions in the INEC guidelines are simply what the guidelines to run elections. They're not constitutional.